by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky. I go to war, I'll fight. Damn right.
Welcome back to the Professional Stepdad Show. I am your host, Franco Zavala. This is episode 149 of the show. You guys, I gotta say this. I just recorded, or I just filmed myself and doing this episode today. Let's just say I got 7 minutes in, and I realized that I never hit record. I could have swore I hit record, but I did not. So this is my second take on today's show. For everybody watching here on YouTube or watching on Rumble, listening on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, thank you guys so very much for sharing the show, for engaging with the show, and for sending in messages, ideas, comments for episodes, because we all go through different scenarios. We all have different avenues of growth and problems that we face. Not every family is the same. So, I really, really appreciate everyone for doing that. Today's episode is going to be focused and centered on kind of an epiphany and something that I went through this weekend, which is, just when you think you have it all together, just when you think you have it figured out, just when you think you've put in the time and you've done the work, something happens where you feel like you've just taken one giant leap backwards. And then you start to second guess yourself. You start to second guess like how you handle certain things, or, for stepdads specifically, we put in a lot of work. Let's just say with one of our kids, we put in the work, and then something bad happens and we feel like we lose it all in one fell swoop. And we do that to ourselves. This is a mental game we play with ourselves, because we don't lose it all. If we're doing the work and we're maintaining the growth, and then a bad day won't erase, 6 good months, even though we convince ourselves that it does, right? I know I go through that sometimes where I feel like I have a bad day with one of my kids, and something goes wrong, and I'll have a conversation with my wife, and I'll say something like, you don't get it. Your mom, your bio mom, you're like your blood. So you can have a bad day and nothing will ever change. They're going to love you forever. But for me, it's like, I still feel like I could be replaced. And guys, this is like 10 plus years in, and I'm still feeling like this. So I'm saying this out loud because I think it's very important for each and every one of you to hear me and understand that no one ever has it all together. There is never an end game to this. It's a consistency to growth and a consistency to maintain and develop the relationships within your family and with yourself. And that is today's episode, the commitment to consistency. I've been doing this personal growth. I've been doing this work on myself, and I've been preaching to you guys over the last 149 episodes about work on yourself, work on you and your partner, then work on the kids, learn the love languages, learn how to communicate. And just because I say it out loud and I know it doesn't necessarily make it true that I'm doing it and executing it every day. And I'm human, right? So there's a difference, and you know it as well as I do, between knowing what you need to do and then the thing that you actually do, right? Like, for instance, we're coming to the end of the year. People know that they need to lose weight and to get healthier, but they know they need to do it, but the execution behind it it's almost never there. It's very rare to not only commit to consistency, execute the game plan, and then you get to your goal. It's very hard to do that because the self-sabotage that we have with who we were before we made that decision to become better, it's like a replay in our head, or it's this little voice in the back of our head saying, yeah, you remember when you tried to do this last year? Remember when you tried to lose 10 pounds last year? Didn't work. What? Don't do that. No, you're not going to do it. You know as well as I do, it's not going to work. That's that little voice, that judgmental voice that we have. And as stepdads, we have that with our kids. When we have an argument with one of the kids or something goes wrong, even if it's nothing big, it can be very small. We have that little judgmental voice saying, you better watch it. You better watch it. Because you did all that work, and all they have to do is just not like you anymore, and you lost everything. Even though it's not true, we still have that happen. So you have to commit to the consistency of constant growth on yourself. You have to commit to the consistency of constant growth with your relationship with you and your partner. You have to commit to the consistency of listening and communicating with your kids each and every day, especially as they get older. Because you know as well as I do, the older they get, for some reason, they tend to shut off to us and they don't want to share anymore and they don't want to spend time with us anymore. And that happens to a lot of stepdads. That happens to a lot of men and parents in general. And you have to commit to understanding where they are in their life, not trying to solve every problem that they have. Sometimes they just need you to listen and just agree to them. Even if you don't agree, you're just like, I get it. Because you understand that sometimes they just need to get it off their chest. And if you try to give them solutions, they weren't looking for a solution. And, and that's the disconnect for the communication. And that's why I'm always telling you, go learn their love language. So there's a commitment to consistency in everything that we do in life, whether it's our work, whether it's our health, whether it's our marriage, whether it's our friendships. There's a commitment to consistency that we have to have. And the balance between all those is really, really tough. The balance between wanting to do something, wanting to, let's say, chase a career path, but then also needing to maintain the relationships within the home. At the same time, maintaining your relationship with your partner, and then maintaining the relationship with yourself. So when you do hit, when you do run into bad moments and when the negativity starts to overwhelm you, that you've mentally trained yourself to just move past it. See, I often make, have fun with my wife when I say, because she's like, oh, you're so mentally strong. And I do believe that I'm mentally strong. But here's the difference. Just because I'm mentally strong doesn't mean that I can get through every situation with ease. It's simple for me. No. The difference between me and most people is when tough times come, or when negative times, make its way into my life, and we all go into that mental prison, I can just get out faster, right? I can think my way out of something, as opposed to where most people, when they put themselves in a mental prison, they're a POW, they're a prisoner of war. And that war is the war that they're having with themselves inside their mind and inside their head, and the fabricated thoughts that they're coming up with. Because, like I said, you could tie that into any bad day that you've had with one of the kids, or even with your partner. So that is kind of what I went through this weekend. I had to remind myself that, dude, you don't have it. You're not done. You're not done. You have to be working every day. You have to be working on your relationship every day. You have to be working on yourself every day. It might not always, it might have nothing to do with the stepkids. It might not have nothing to do with your blended family. Some days you just need to make sure that you're doing the work, because you need to keep a positive mental mindset, because you're trying to build your business, or you're going after your career, you're going after your dream job, and you want to make sure that you're ready for it. Here's what I do know. When going after something you want, whether it's your health and your job, or somebody you fell in love with and you just want to go for the next step, whatever it may be. When making decisions, big or small, never ask yourself, is this right or wrong? You should be asking yourself, if I make this decision today, will it move me in the direction of my dreams? And if the answer is yes, you just got to go. There's an old saying, I don't know who said it, but it is, successful people make decisions fast and change them slow, if and when they change them at all. Unsuccessful people make decisions slow and change them extremely fast. So with that being said, if you know your gut, if you can feel it in your gut, go. Period. You don't need to know all the answers. You just don't. That's not up to you. You first need to make the decision. So when committing to consistency within your family, You know the things that you have to do in order to strengthen the relationships with your kids. You do. You know the things that you have to do to strengthen the relationship with your wife. You just do. You know. You know the things you have to do to better yourself. You know. But remember, the biggest gap in life is between what we know and what we do. Commit to consistency today. Commit to the consistency of growth. And then commit to checking in at least every 48 hours. Okay, am I doing work? Even if it's a little, guys. I'm not telling you to sit at a desk and work all day. Listen to a video. Read 5 pages in a book. Watch a YouTube video. Listen to a podcast about that's not just somebody bitching and complaining all day. Like, it'll help you. Trust me, it will. And it'll help with your promises that you made to yourself and to your family. So, stepdads, before you go into next year, commit to the consistency of who you said and who you promised yourself you would become and who you said you were going to be. Commit to that consistency. All right, everyone. Episode 149. Until next time, be well. Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Listen, if you know a stepdad who is in need of any of this information, do me a favor right now. Hit that subscribe button and share this episode with them as fast as possible. Did you do it? Okay, you did it.
Quiet on the set, please. Thank you, everybody.